Thank you all for being here. This is our first intern boot camp. Before we start, I just want to say congratulations to everyone who has successfully matched. People have different stories. For some, this has been years coming. For some, this is right after med school, but that doesn't undermine your success story. We are really proud of you, and we're glad that you're part of this team. So that's the first hurdle. You have matched. Congrats to you. Now we're, the journey continues. We're hoping that you would, that wouldn't just be the end of your success story, that you would keep succeeding once you get into residency. You would start off strong. And the great thing about Kainji is we're really great at giving people, an extra backbone. So you're not going in blind. You have people who have gone through residency, they have completed it, and they have, mistakes that you can learn from. So that's what we're here to share. We're here to answer those burning questions. Some of you have so many, confusing questions, including myself, that we have one of our renowned members, Dr. Molara Grace, who has gone through it, and through her years in residency, she noted down every mistake. She tried her best to learn from those mistakes. She put them down, and she has put these things all together to give you a great start. So it would be a shame if you make the same mistake when you could have learned from somebody else's, experience. So I'm going to hand over to her. She has completed her residency. She has a lot to say, a lot that you can learn from. I definitely recommend you have your pen and your paper. I also recommend you have your questions. And there's so much more that we're going to talk about through this meeting. So welcome, Dr. Grace.
Thank you. Thank you for having me. Good afternoon, everybody. I'm one of yours. So feel free, and this is the time to celebrate. It's an opportunity to be on this side of the road when you've gone through the tough part of getting in. And now that you are in, the race didn't just end there. It continues. There are many challenges. There are many things that you will meet along the way. But what I will always tell people is I always enjoy the journey, because you might get to the destination and be like, oh, is this all that it is about? And so enjoy the old journey. Now you're in a new phase, and the new phase is beautiful. Tell me, it's like March, April, May, June. So you're on 4-month vacation. That is what it sounds like right now. You will not get this 4 months again until you have your own practice and you decide, you know what, this is my practice. I can decide to go on 4 months. But nowhere in America will they give you 4 months full of vacation. So this is the best period of your transitioning, that you can make use of your vacation as much as you want. So as Stephanie has introduced me, I am Omulara, most times go by Grace, during my residency training. And I'm currently an endocrinology fellow at SUNY Downstate, Brooklyn, New York. So I will start by just following some points I have listed here. I will just explain 1 or 2 things, and then I'm open to all your questions. So now that you've matched or you pre-match, I will say once again, congratulations. It's a long journey. It's been through the thick and thin. You've gone through the interview process. It's not been easy, but I'll bet you are now a different person. Now you know what it means to go through an interview. You know what it means to go through pre-match process or through the matching process. You know what the algorithm means and the likes. Now, the next step is that I know some of you right now, there's the program I've started calling you, which is the regular thing that they do. They start emailing you booklets of things that you need to do. And one of it is signing your contract. Very, very important. Start your contract. I've never heard about anyone that didn't sign contract and get out of the program. It doesn't happen, so don't be scared. But for me, I just wanted to make sure I have signed my contract. I have my copy in my hand in case they change my mind. But they changed their mind rather. But that is just those kind of fear that you like. Is this real or is this not real? But it is real. It is truly real. You already been given. You're already included in the program. And you may notice something, that the same program that you email and they don't even think like you exist. Now they reply you in a minute. You call anybody in the program, they respond to you. And you feel like, ooh, why are these people so friendly? It's not because they are friendly, it's just because you are part of them now. So they don't have choice. They have to care for you. They have to respond to your message. They have to make sure everything is on ground. So do not feel like you are disturbing anyone or any of the program coordinators or any of the residents that are in the program if you message them or call them anytime. If they are busy, they will tell you they are busy, but don't hold back and say, oh, I don't want to disturb anybody. This is your life now. So they'll send you some onboarding package and tons of things that you need to fill. It takes a long time. It took me more than a month to fill them up. You will tell them about all your life. You will deal with occupational health. You will go through your vaccination record. They will go through your screening, and they will also make sure that you have some tests or some exams that you have to do before you come in. Some of these exams are basic skills that you already know, and some of them are BLS and ACLS certification, because it is very, very important that you are certified in BLS and ACLS as a doctor. And the reason being that on your first day, you may be on call, depending on your schedule. And it might be a cardiac arrest patient while you're on the floor. You don't want to look stupid, like, what am I going to do? What is going on here? So ACLS training and BLS training, do your training. Another training that I remember you have to do is this child abuse training. Even though you are internal medicine, you are psychiatry, whatever rotation or whatever specialty you are going in for, they want to make sure you know what is called child abuse and adult abuse and elderly abuse and all those things and what to do. And the rest includes all this firearms protocol in the hospital. There are a bunch of it. So just endeavor to start early to unpack your folders and be doing them one after the other. So that's one. The other part, the second thing I'm going to mention today is getting your visa. Getting your visa. Start as early as possible. Don't wait. Don't push things. If you have been assigned a lawyer, don't delay in getting everything done. If, for instance, you're on H1, they will ask you if you prefer premium processing or the regular processing. So if you go through the regular processing, it takes time and you might delay you starting your work. So start as early as possible, and I'll advise you go for premium processing. Usually if you have step 3, you automatically qualify for H1 visa, unless your program doesn't. They don't sponsor H1. But if they do sponsor H1, then I will advise you go for H1 because it leads you in a better route already, and you don't have to struggle as you get your fellowship and start working later in life. So other thing I'll talk about today is you yourself. How do you prepare? I know many people on social media and everywhere you'll be hearing this is the time to relax. And just as I also mentioned that it's your 4-month vacation for you to enjoy yourself and get yourself settled, which entails, as a woman, I always tell everyone, get yourself prepared, do your skin treatment now. This is the best time to go for your spa. If you want to go for spa, get your skin well treated, because you may not have time for any makeup during the work, and you don't want to look so disheveled at work as well. So you just want to learn to be on your natural look, which initially might look very weird for you, but with time you realize that many people during residency are in their natural look. So you have to just get the best skincare you need, what will suit you without your makeup. And sleep well, travel if you have to travel to Nigeria, or you want to travel to other states or other country to say hello to your friends and your loved ones. Spend time with your family now. Give them the quality time that they need. My program director told every one of us during the orientation, he said, right now, pick up your phone and start calling your family members and say to them that, oh, you will not be hearing from me as you used to hear. I may not pick your call when you call me, and I may not be available. So don't take it uh, personal. It's not me. It's because of the nature of work. So what does that mean is that prepare the mind of your family members, your siblings, your parents. Let them understand what you are getting into, that you're going to be very busy. If you're already married, you have kids, explain to your children, your husband, that you might not be readily available all the time. But anytime you come back from work and you have free time and you have free period, your vacation, spend it well with them, because they are the one taking the huge sacrifice. Don't get home after work when you are free and you still don't want them in the house. A colleague of mine said he made that kind of mistake during residency training, and he realized the kids are not getting scared of him. And he didn't know, because whenever he comes home, he was always tired, and he would just shut the door and tell the wife, don't let those kids come in, I don't have time. And the kids were feeling the parent withdrawing from them. So we had to learn this in a very hard way. So which means that, when you come back from work, the weekend that you are free, spend it with them. Let them know you are still available, because let me tell you, 3 years is not a 3-day journey. 3 years is enough to change anybody's life. 3 years journey, your children will grow. Even everybody is moving on, as you think you are the only one moving on. So please carry them along and don't just ignore them. And if you have kids, then you might require nanny, get a nanny, and it might take a huge part of your salary, but it's okay, because this is the beginning of your journey. And let me tell you, it gets easier as you go up the ladder. Your first year might be very, very busy, that you don't even have time for yourself. And as you go to get to second year, third year, it becomes easier, and you get to understand the system as well. So if you have to, in the beginning, get a nanny, get a nanny. If you have to call family members to stay with your family, your kids, try this time to make the best arrangement for them. Arrange what you'll be eating, because you may not have time to cook for yourself or for the family. And at the same time, you don't want to eat unhealthy meal. So arrange what you'll be eating. Think of what you can make on time that will be very quick and that are healthy. You can get some healthy snacks as well, and you can also get some healthy drinks that will sustain you. A lot of people depend on energy bar, caffeine, coffee, all those things, but you have to think of what is good and what will keep your health at check, because you may not have time for your regular checkup and you don't want your health to be in trouble. We've had a couple of residents having myocardial infarction during the residency training. It could be very, very rigorous. So try as much as possible to make sure that you do give yourself healthy meal, healthy time to rest when you can. And other part I'm going to talk about is your typing. Almost all residency program in the US now use electronic health record, and everything entails you have to type all on the computer. So with that being said, if you as an intern, you're going to be writing progress notes on the floor. Your seniors don't write notes on the floor. Most programs, they don't write notes when you're on the floor. If you have 17 patients and they give you like 10 patients to write notes on, You want to write notes, and at the same time, you want to do other things that need to be done, making sure your patient gets imaging workup done, making sure your patient blood work is done. You want to speak to the family and all this work that we have to be done. When all these are on in your plate and you need to do them, what can keep you going is how fast you can type as well. So you want to make sure that you are not sitting down the whole day writing notes. Otherwise, you see yourself writing notes all night when you're supposed to be back home resting, and then you come back to work again by 6 a.m. for 7 a.m. round, and you spend all your day in the hospital and you don't have time to rest. There is an app that I used then during my time because I was very poor at typing as well. So I used this app called Mavis Beacon Typing. It's spelled Mavis, Mavis, and Beacon, Beacon, Mavis Beacon Teaching Typing. I couldn't get it downloaded online, so I bought it on Best Buy. It's a CD, and then you plug in, and then you get it. I also got a keyboard. Those deep keyboard, not the regular laptop keyboard. You need a deep one because those are the ones that are almost everywhere in the hospital. And if you don't type well on the deep one, you may not be able to type fast. So I use that to practice. I will encourage that you get something like that and practice. Anytime you're free at home, just get a keyboard with your computer and start typing. Just type whatever comes to your mind and give yourself the speed, time yourself and see how much words you can type. All right. Other thing on ground is buying scrubs and coats. Some programs allow you to wear any scrubs you want. Some programs will tell you, no, you have to wear the hospital scrub only. So if, for instance, your program allows you to buy scrub from anywhere and use any scrub, you want to dress neatly, you want to dress well, you want to dress clean. Whatever scrub you wear, make sure you are clean, you're neat, because your dressing also speaks volume. There are different places you can get your scrubs. There are different scrubs around. Most common one that people like most is figs, and it's because when you wear figs, you feel like you're well dressed. We from Nigeria, when we dress in all those our native clothes or suits, the way you feel. So that's the same way people feel when they wear figs. And at the beginning, you might think, okay, it's so expensive, I can't afford it because it's truly expensive. But it's a 3-year journey. Buying one, buying two, buying three, and then with time you have all your house filled with very nice scrubs. I'm not saying figs is what you have to wear, but I'm saying whatever scrub you have to wear, make sure you are neat, make sure you're clean, and make sure you have enough that will be enough for you for like a week or 2 weeks before you have time to do your laundry, because you may not have laundry time at all, and you don't want to dress shavishly to work at the same time. Get stethoscope, good stethoscope. Label your stethoscope. It's very easy to lose your stethoscope. When you're running for calls, for your didactics, for your noon conference, you think you left it in your pocket and it's not there. And there are some stethoscope clip that you can actually hook on your cloth, and you hook your stethoscope to it and you have it on. You don't have to put it on your neck, because most times we don't even do that anymore. You just hang it on your side. Get comfy footwear, because you may be on your feet for long. Some rounds can last the whole day, especially if you're in critical unit rotations. Those rounds are like forever, the whole day. On one patient, you can be spending up to an hour. So make sure you have comfy footwear that you can easily walk on all day. Now, getting accommodation. Accommodation can be very stressful and demanding, because you want to put in many factors into it. You want to put factors of where your children will go to school. If you are moving in with your family, you want to factor where the environment that is safe, that is also good for everybody to be around. So all these things can be very tactful to get. But what I would say is take your time, because whenever they send you the email to congratulate you in your program. They usually send bunch of it so that you see other colleagues of yours that will be in the program. And from there, we just pick up and form a group chat. You can take the lead. Just form a group chat. Tell everyone in the email to send their phone number to you, and you create a group chat. And from there, you guys can start talking about where to live, what to do. And if you know anybody in the program as well, just press your buttons and ask around. If you have time to visit the area, drive around the area. And this is even the time, this is the period whereby you don't even need to travel distance before you find a good place. All you need to do is go online and check on Zilog and on all those apps that you can easily find houses with good neighborhoods. So take your time. Don't rush to get into a house that will put you in trouble, because you don't want any problem when you're already in the program and the landlord or the landlady is giving you problem. You want to make sure you are emotionally stable to run the journey. Now, let's talk about study materials to use during the training. There are different study materials you can use, but I would always advise, before you even start residency training, if you are graduated for long and you've just been applying for residency all this while, so your medical knowledge has to be brushed up, and you want to make sure that everything is well prepared for. Like, you are not thinking when they're asking you what is the normal CBC and what is the normal hemoglobin, and you're like, what is the value of hemoglobin again? I don't remember. You don't want to sound like, okay, you've been truly too old. So get materials to study. One of it is med study. MED study. It's the book. It comes in a package of different uh, subjects. You will see for cardiology, hematology, endocrinology, and like that. So it comes in a bundle. Med study is so basic. Like, it's transition you easily from medical school into residency training. It's very, very basic. It's simple to understand. It's very easy to understand, rather, and you can start studying from there. Other thing you can use is your own old notes. You have your old notes when you were preparing for CK, when you were preparing for step 1 and your step 3. So all these materials are still materials you can use. Not every information is obsolete. Study those materials, study your notebook, watch YouTube videos on procedures, on how to do procedures and what procedures and what, or just observe, because that alone is observation for you, and that alone can guide you through to these other steps. Another book material you can use is MKSAP. Now, MKSAP is very hard to understand for beginners, but if you have read med study, it becomes easier for you to study using MKSAP. MKSAP is like the bomb of all you need for your ABIM exam, and it prepares you well for your board exams. So get MKSAP and study after you have studied med study. One good thing with MKSAP is that it also has an online version whereby it has its own question bank, and you can use those question bank to learn more from for future exams. Up to Date is an important and the most important app you must have on your phone. So download I know that Up to Date you have to pay for subscription, but when you get into your program, most programs have it for free. So you go to your school, your hospital library, and ask for them to help you out, and you can easily download it on your phone without having to pay if you have opened an account in your schools, under your school system, your program system rather. And Up to Date is very important because you will need it for any simple thing, any simple question you don't know. You don't know the dose of your medication. You want to know what the terminology of it or something means. You can easily lay your hands on it and check. Even the attendings during ward round, during the floor work and ICU rotation or any rotation, even the emergency room, they still check Up to Date. They want to see what is Up to Date saying, and then they treat accordingly. And there is and there's another app called MD Calc. MD and Calc, like a calculator, CALC. Download this app. It's very, very good for you to know most of the guidelines. If you need any guidelines and you want to know, like, okay, TIMI score, this patient has chest pain, what is the score for this patient? Instead of you thinking and using all your abbreviation that you have used for the exam, you don't have to do that anymore. On the MD Calc, just type TIMI score or Gracie score, and it comes up automatically, and you put in the values of your patient in it, and it gives you the score for that patient. And from there, you can proceed your treatment. Same thing, you will find another score like NIHSS for stroke. You will see all the scores that you need. BMI, everything is in there. And it's going to make your floor work and your rotation work go on smoothly. So, ITE exam. I know there have been questions about what is this ITE exams, what is it about, what am I supposed to do? ITE exam is in training exam. When you are in residency training, no matter your specialty, family medicine, pediatrics, anesthesiology, whatever your specialty is, every year you will be doing an exam that is standard enough, like it looks like your board exam. And it's just to grade you to see what level you are with your peer in your hospital and what level you are with your peer all over the US. And this includes both American grad and IMG. And some programs, they don't care about the IT exam. Some programs, they don't take it for granted at all. Some can even like tell you you're not going to second year if you don't pass your IT exams. And the exam questions, the resources are usually, when I did my exams on all my during the residency training, it looks more like USMLE step 2 CK. Sometimes it looks like MB question, like it's just one line question and the rest are options. One line question and the rest are options. And sometimes you will see all the question like we fill the whole screen like you would. So it's mixture of everything all, but through it all, it's all basic knowledge that you need to know in residency. And not just like basic, simple question knowledge. Some can be tough, some can be hard. So you want to make sure that you study and know it well. What are the materials? What are the resources to use? First, use your old notes. Like I said, your old notes, all the notes you have used and prepared for USMLE CK. And for step 3, there are similar questions that you will find and that will be helpful for you. Other thing to use are the study materials that we've mentioned above, up to date, med study, MKSAP. You can get tons of questions from there. You are like practicing and you see similar questions can come up from there. Other things you can use is question bank. Because look, you may not have time during your program. You may not even have time to study. You want to just go home and sleep. You just want to sleep and sleep it off. But you have to remember that you have to study. So what I usually do during my program, residency training, was in between when I'm waiting, when I'm standing, when I'm doing one other thing, I just study one question and just look into it, Study question. Question is is a good key to actually pass an exam if you know how to use questions to study. Get a study partner, because the moment you get in, you will know which of your colleagues would like to study, which of them you have good chemistry with. Take that person up and ask, can we be studying together? Just study questions together. And it's been proven very, very helpful. And other materials you can use, like I said, is go on social media, go on YouTube, go on YouTube and you watch some of those videos and use any materials that you know that is going to help you. Now, how do you know which of these materials is going to help you? Like I said, they are basic like CK, standard exam, and the MBME exams. So all those kind will really guide you to, okay, what materials did I use for those exams? I think I can still read them and you'll find that it's easy. Most importantly, during your didactics, your noon conferences and your presentation time, these are also time to learn. So don't take them for granted. Use your didactic period to also absorb information that will help you through. Most programs use this IT exams to grade you. So as a first year resident, if you are you're in preliminary position, make sure you do well in your ITE, because once you pass your ITE, you're already been put in that category that program will be looking for you. You will get tons of interview before even the second year, March, April. You already like taking. You are taking, and if your program wants you to, they will take you immediately before you start applying outside. So you want to make sure you do well in your ITE exam. Now, for internal medicine, if you go on Google, just type ITE ACP. ACP is standing for American College of Physicians. So ITE ACP will tell you the date, the material. I believe I sent Dr. Stephanie the link. If you the materials I shared, maybe you could just put in the group chat for everyone to see what are the things they are expecting you to do, and how long is this exam, and what are the things you need to prepare for. So that's for internal medicine. Internal medicine for this year, your IT exam is going to be in August. Your program would have paid. You won't even know that all these things are ongoing during your onboarding process. You come in July, everybody's still fresh. You want to know who the environment is like, okay, this and that. And then the next thing they are telling you is that in August, your exam is this and you have to do it. You can't move it. So make sure you are ready before residency starts, so that during residency training, your first month, you're just relaxing and learning more, and you're already ready for your ITE. October is usually, for this year, October 2023 is for family medicine. And you can see the information about family medicine on ABFM, American Board of Family Medicine. So if you Google ABFM ITE, it will show you what informations are required and what date it will be. It's coming up, I believe, in October 20th to 27 or something. So within that week, all programs have to do with the exam. And all over the country, we'll be doing the exam the same period. For emergency medicine, it's going to be in 2024, February 27 to March. So you still have enough time if you are going for emergency medicine training. Anesthesiology is in February 2024, and pediatrics is in July. And that was to me, it's too early because you're just coming in. So ask from your other colleague or your seniors who have been there before you on how do they do it. Is it as you're coming in, you'll be writing exam? So, or it's going to be in your second year that you have to do it. But I know that for sure that you have to all do the exams every year. Okay, let's see what I have here. Okay. Like I said, I have a study partner because you will need a positive peer pressure during the period of your exam and of your training rather, because these are the people that will really help you and say, we are like-minded, we're both tired, let's do it. Okay. And I want to read out some of the things I have written down in this book that will help you as well. Okay. So I wrote some parts here, my advice from my predecessors, study, do your exams, get ready, respect the nurses. They are very, very important people. The nurse, they don't like you the first week, so don't expect them to like you. They will some of them even look at you like this, like, who is she? Who is he? So don't take it personal. Just respect them because they are the one that will help you. They want to see if you will be bamba or you will be there to mellow and listen to them, and they will really, really teach you. They have tons of experience. They will teach you how to do blood draws and how to use the basic things that they have over there. Be punctual and be professional. Be very, very professional. No matter what, don't let your emotion get over you. Don't get angry easily. Don't just do something that will make the program give you a red flag. Because the moment you guys enter in July, the seniors are already talking about you already. Do you know this lady? Do you know this guy? Do you know that? They're already talking and they're already defining you. So you don't want them to just give you a wrong definition. If you don't know something, you did not examine a patient, don't say you examine. They will find out and they can just dislike you from there. So try as much as possible to be sincere. Oh, I forgot to examine that part. I can go back and check again. Oh, I forgot to examine the leg. I will go back and check again and I will let you know. They will respect you for that than just creating story that doesn't make sense. Oh, the patient does not have pida edema. And then they'll go in and flip the leg, the cover clothes and see big pida edema because they already know. If a patient is having shortness of breath and you are saying there's no pida edema, so where is is it acute pulmonary edema? Okay, so you have to be very, very truthful. So try as much as possible. They know the workload is high. If you don't know anything, it's okay to say I don't know. Don't go and be fumbling and be creating words and be wasting words. Just explain, I don't know, I'll read about it. I have no idea. They like it when you're simple, when you're just simple and you are ready to learn. As intern, nobody's expecting you to know the whole thing. Nobody's expecting you to even know anything. Just be as simple as that, and the one you know, just give it out. They will know, they will smell it that this guy is knowledgeable, this lady is knowledgeable. But don't try and prove to them you are knowledgeable when you don't, because they can easily push you aside. And on your exam, let me go back to the IT. When you're doing your IT exam, don't use the knowledge you have gained during the training, during your IT, your clinical work in the hospital, and use it and answer questions. Most times your clinical experience is not the same as knowledge experience that they are asking you in the book, in the question. So try to just focus on what you have known and what you know, and that push you better upward than making you to fail. One of my colleagues from family medicine says your program will be in constant communication with you, as I've mentioned, and they will let you know all the onboarding instructions that are required. So your chief will also reach out to you about your annual schedule. I will advise you read anything in preparation, but rather enjoy yourself, because I wouldn't have enough time during residency to have all this fun stuff. So, and you should hone your presentation skill because you'll be presenting. So just be relaxed. Don't get all these things fill you up. Don't feel like, oh my gosh, there's a lot across there. Just take your time, one step at a time, and you will see yourself like doing great. And I'll just wrap up with this, and I'll just let us ask questions. Okay. Ask questions when you are in doubt, and be organized in your presentation. In the morning, you will do presentation. Most times intern presents the patient. So if you want to present your patient in the morning, don't just scatter the whole thing. I wrote a book and that explains on how to present, what to say. Don't just go there and be talking about how the patient presented, and then the next thing you do is jumping into labs. You scatter the brain of the listener. So you want to be organized. You want to present and let your attending know that have you been practicing before, or where do you get this knowledge? You're very skillful, you know how to present and make Nigerian proud. So in conclusion, don't forget God. Invest in your savings. Don't spend all the money. The money will come in and you feel great, like, yes, I now have money. Save your money, invest it to do great things. Okay, so I'll stop here for now.
Thank you so much, Dr. Grace. That was really helpful. Before we go into questions, I know you saw that she brought one of her books out. I actually got a copy. I don't know if you can see it. And I can attest to the fact that this is what you need. We're going to share the link to the book for you to get it. It breaks down every single rotation you're doing, what you're supposed to know. I guarantee you that this would, help you start your journey. I think we have our first question. Has there been a case of J1 visa you know of? How did the person go about it? J1 visa rejection.
J1 visa rejection. Well, I've never had someone being rejected on J1, but I know that there has been difficulties in with people for people with J1 because they have to go through ECFMG, and then sometimes they have to be outside the country to even get the thing done. So I know J1 is very difficult. If you have your step 3 and your program offers H1, say you go for H1 because it's the easiest. You don't have to travel and you can just do adjustment of status. But if you're on J1, I know you might have to travel out. A colleague of mine that had to travel didn't go back home because he doesn't want to go to Nigeria and then get stuck there. So let's go to Canada or to Mexico and just get done. So that's the little I know about the J1. But I know a couple of people are on J1 in the group and can help out too in the group chat.
Okay. Thank you so much for that. I actually did hear of somebody who got denied for J1. I think he just went back and applied again. Sometimes, honestly, you go in there and the person interviewing you just does not like your face for whatever reason. So, I mean, honestly, especially as us, most Nigerians here can attest to the fact that these processes sometimes they make absolutely no sense, and that's what scares us. So, yeah, like Dr. Grace said, if you can go to another country to get that, like to apply for it, chances are higher that you will get it as opposed to Nigeria, like going back to Nigeria. The second question is, can you briefly talk about what the progress note entails? Is it like intern word round notes or summaries?
So progress notes is simply SOAP. We call it SOAP here, and I put a template in my book so you can check it out. The template entails, the SOAP actually stands for subjective, objective, and plan. It has to be a very, very short note because it's a progress. Like what happened yesterday, subjective. Oh, patient seen at bedside, denied any complaint today, says she's feeling better, and no overnight event. Period. Your subject is done. Now, objective on physical examination, vitals are stable. You put in your vitals if you don't have a template for the vitals, because if you're on Epic, for instance, you can easily put in your vitals auto template, like automatically in your notes, and then the rest is your physical examination, general appearance. Always put your general appearance because it saves a lot. Some patients are alert, awake, interactive, friendly, and just everything was good during your own progress note, and the next day the patient is not the same. So your progress note on your objective finding can really save the night team, especially when they are doing their night float rotation, and they're like, okay, Stephanie's note says that this patient was active and awake. I know Stephanie, if this doesn't happen, she wouldn't have put it in her note. She doesn't just copy and paste because you want to avoid that thing as well. If they know you as a copy and paste person, they won't trust whatever you put in your note. They're like, oh, he's just always dropping notes, but the note is not reliable. So you want to keep your integrity so that wherever you go, whatever you say in your notes is what they will take, and they will respect it because they know who you are. That the way you say things to them when you are presenting, that you don't remember doing this or you didn't do this, you will do it again. They know you will put it in your note exactly how you have done it. So in your objective, put your general appearance and then your chest. Before COVID time, you have to put everything, like test is clear, you listen, you're ascoltated. But COVID changed a lot of things, that most programs became so lenient because of the fact that we're doing social distancing at that time. So now that things are back to norm, you may not go free with not saying on you ascoltated, Otherwise, before then, what you just needed was unlabored breathing, and you'll be okay with the chest and your CVS. You can put S1, S2 list heard. If there's any more rubs and gallops, you put your objective findings and down to your feet. No pediatrema, peripheral pulses are present. If no peripheral pulses are present, don't put, because some people can have acute ischemia, and you already saying they have pulses when they don't have. And after your objective, you put in your labs, your basic labs for that day. If anything change, if calcium is trending down, you put. If you are monitoring GFR, if it is troponin, you are trending. If whatever you are monitoring, you put in your lab work. And if you do any imaging work, Like patient today went for CAT scan of the abdomen, chest, and pelvis. Your result, you can just put your impression. Or impression is this detail of information in the chart. And your assessment. Your assessment again goes back again. Mr. AB is a 63-year-old male with significant history of this, who has presented to the emergency room with complaint of chest pain and shortness of breath, found to have this, admitted for this. And your plan is not going to be planned. You put number one, plan for number one, chest pain to rule out STEMI, or chest pain to rule out STEMI. Whatever your chest pain that you have concern with, is it for STEMI and STEMI, or is it for acute or chronic chest heart failure? Whatever your reason is, you put as your number one plan, and then you list, you bullet point, or you just hashtag or just hyphen your plan. Okay, what's your plan going to be today? Most times they don't rely on your plan. So what that means is that during your round, the attending will be telling you what plan they are going to do. And most times, if you have a very good seniors, you pre-round before the attending. So your senior must have told you, okay, for this patient, we're going to continue to train troponin. We need a chest X-ray for this patient. We need DAU8, which is drug screen, to make sure that this patient is not on opioid or any kind of cocaine or drugs. And we want to continue with troponin training, and we want to continue to give aspirin, and we are going to consult whatever plan. Oh, consult cardiology. Oh, why didn't you consult cardio? Okay, consult through pain therapy. Whatever people they want to consult, those are things that go into your plan. So it's very short notes. You just put those things, pum, 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 and then you're done with your note for that day. And case discussed with your attendee, you have to put it there because it helps the billing process. They know that this note is not your note. It's a note that was given to you or planned with you with your team, and your attending can easily attest the notes from there.
Awesome. The next question is, when is the general surgery in training exam? Does your book cover surgery rotations?
Oh yeah, so this my book doesn't cover surgery rotation, but it covers emergency part and the pediatrics. No, not pediatrics, family medicine and psych part. So sorry, I'm just a beginner in that book part, so I didn't cover surgery for now. But yes, same thing. The way I gave you the plan for American Board for family medicine, American Board for surgery is also there. IT, everybody do IT. So we can actually check it up online now and just see when is the date, because all these dates are just there in the internet. So you could just check when the dates will be and prepare accordingly.
Let me see if I can find.
Yeah, let me see from here too.
Okay.
If you just type IT surgery, you should be able to
Yeah,
come.
our site, it looks like the exam is taken in January, or it says February for international osteopathic programs. So it's somewhere around there. I guess it differs based on what program you're in.
Yeah, it says next exam is in January 2023, but they didn't put for 2024 yet.
Yeah. Interesting. Okay.
And the report of the result usually comes back a month after. And usually the program won't tell you. They'll just send you the email. They send an email out to you that your result is out. And if you do so well, your program director can just talk about you during the noon conference. If you don't do well, you'll just hear that this afternoon, some of you would like to see your program director, would have to see your program director. So if you get an email to see your program director, please go ahead and see him this afternoon. Will be available waiting for you. So in my program, we already know that those are people that didn't pass. So there is a problem and you need to sit them down, because it could mean that, okay, they are getting concerned about how you're going to succeed in your board exams, or if there is anything that is ongoing that you want to discuss with the program, and for them to see how they can help you with it.
Okay. I have a question. What are some common reasons that people get kicked out of the program? Because I've heard of people getting kicked out in their first year, second year, even third year. There's a program here that kicked someone out in their third year. So, and most people don't share like this is the reason. So, what do you think causes that?
Yeah, so some program have zero tolerance for nonsense. Zero tolerance. Sorry, I have to let you know, because if you get into a program that you realize, okay, this program, there is no joke, there is no time to play, no time to even say hello, hi, everybody just busy working, just focus on your work and do what you need to do. Some programs will tolerate your nonsense a bit, and it depends on the level of their tolerance. And some, they can tell you that no matter what you do, we will try as much as possible not to put it in your record. There are different things you can do that can make them put you in your record. One of it is if you are not professional at all. If nurses are reporting you, it can go directly into your record. Nurses have a very strong association, and you don't want to play with them. You play with one nurse, it's like you're fighting with one nurse, like you're fighting all the nurses. Because before you know it, everybody already knows what is going on around, and they can frustrate your life. Whatever you prescribe, they are the ones to give. They can make things up for you. So try as much as possible to be very professional. Don't just use any words or any kind of negative attitude while at work. Don't take your um don't take your, how do you say this thing in Yoruba? You always say don't take your ishele data, all those things. So there are some things you can do at home that you will go scot-free. You can't do it with Americans. Americans, they all feel empowered. They have a say. Patients have a say. If a patient doesn't like you, they report you to patient experience. And if patient experience take you up, they can form a panel on you. So it then depends on what the panel or the judges have decided on. Even though your program director want to try to help and protect you, there is a level at which they can protect. And that reminds me, so that being said means that please join the association for residents, wherever your program has, because those are the people that will back you up. Most common one association is CIR, the Committee of Intern and Residents. You have to pay to be in the association, but it's worth paying, because one, they are the one that will pay for your insurance, your health insurance, and your family health insurance. So they'll take care of it from the stipend that you'll be paying every month to them. And if you have any problem with this hospital, with the program, or even with your program director, they are the one that will get you lawyers and speak on your behalf. Now, that being said, I remember a colleague of my, like a junior, I won't say colleague, like I won't say a junior per se, because he was in the same set with me when he was in another program in Maryland, but he had trouble with his program and he got kicked out. Now, what was the reason for being kicked out? They don't like him. They said he lies a lot. Whatever he does is unreliable and is unprofessional. And patients have been complaining all the time that he's rude to them. So they report the program has given him many probation, and even with the probation, he couldn't sustain. So he got kicked out. Well, how he got into the residency again and got into my program, I don't know how it happened, but it was just all being said that he was painted black, because he's not a black person, he's an Indian, but he was painted for just being bad person. And he said it was because he had a problem with his senior, and the senior almost gave the hell out of him. Like, there was nothing he did that was ever right, since he had problem with the senior. So try as much as possible to prevent your senior giving you problem. They can destroy your life. They're already in the program. Try to avoid it. Other thing is, don't go to the residency training and be looking for boyfriend or girlfriend. All those things can put you in trouble, because ideally at work they will tell you no, 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 it is not good. Though in the same program you will see people ending up to find boyfriend and finding their wife or husband in the program, but it's something that you are like you're treading on a very thin high. So you want to be very careful so that won't put you in trouble, because they can easily say it's an harassment or you are molesting someone else, and that's a big red flag. That's a very big red flag. And other thing is they will give you in the welcoming package, there are rules they will give to you. So you have to follow. Some of those rules are the rules that you will see that, okay, this one's is like, no, it's like no go area. You can't try it. You try it, that is it. So like Stephanie said, most people don't come out to tell you what happened and why they get kicked out of the program, but it can happen. Another person I know that got kicked out from a program here in New York was because of ITE. And everybody was mad. Like, why would they do that to you because of your ITE? They said because he failed first year, he failed second year, they cannot let him do third year. That he has to. So we're like, why will you let someone because of ITE exam fail? They're like, oh, that's the way the program is. You can't fail ITE exam here. You must pass your ITE. I'm like, okay, that doesn't guarantee you passing your board exam, but it's the program now. So look into your program, see what are the things that has been going on and what are the things. My program, during my time, my program director said it clearly to us, no what matter what you do, we're not going to send you out unless you do something very, very bad. Very, very bad. There was someone before my program, before I got in, that was kicked out truly in my program. And they said that person really did it bad. Like really did it bad. Like almost to the point that the patient's family sued the hospital because of the big mistake that he made. And he didn't own up to it. He didn't take it up. It was just like nothing happened. So CIR we're supposed to be there to help you and protect you if you have something. But if you open your mouth and talk to those people and the patient experience and to the hospital lawyers before your CR come in, they will take your word for what you have said. So you want to be very careful. Just do your job, be friendly, be calm, be collected, be hardworking. All those things you have said during your interview, just bring them out. Hit the ground and run, and that's all you need. And you see them, they will like you because your work ethics is showing. Develop your soft skill. If anybody offend you, let it go and don't create a fighting scenario. They will send you out. If you start fighting, you cannot. So that's the little I could contribute on that.
Thank you so much. Another question. You spoke of some tests that we may be required to complete as part of the onboarding process. Is it just the BLS, ACLS, and child abuse training? Are there others? Thank you.
Well, I can't remember clearly but I know there were others. I had a lot of certification I was just doing. We're just doing the certification, but those ones are the most important one. I remember that if you don't complete, they will tell you cannot start, that you must have your ACLS certification. In fact, you have to go to the hospital and go and do your practical because ACLS require practical. BLS, you don't need practical. So your ACLS, you just do the theory part, and then they will schedule an appointment for you to, when you do simulation tests, for them to see that you can truly do chest compression. Yes, so that I remember. I know there are other courses like drug, HIV, all those. There are so many bunch of it. Your program will send it to you. Whatever they send to you is what you should just do. It might be different from my program, but whatever it is sent, I'm pretty sure they will send out all that you need. But just make sure when they are sent to you, don't push them aside because, man, they take forever to finish, but they are doable.
Okay. Thank you, Dr. Grace. Do you have any advice on when to schedule PTO during intern year?
How to schedule your what?
PTO.
Remind me again, what is PTO?
The paid time off.
Oh, okay. Well, you're already in residency, so nobody's gonna tell you not to schedule whatever time you want. They will ask you. So right now I'm chief fellow for endocrinology, and I sent email to our incoming fellows that send me your vacation request and send me according to your priority in 3 numbers, like your first one, your second one, your third one. So I may not look at the third one unless if I feel like, okay, that's the only available time I have for you, then I'll give you your number 3. So schedule whatever you think it's good for you and your family. Maybe you have kids and you want to be available with them with your during their their holiday, their vacation. So you want to make sure like everything balanced up. So not the day you're on vacation, they're at school, or you're at school, they're at vacation, all those things. So you want to create something like that. Send it to your chief. Your chief will ask you. They will actually ask you to pick. They will not force you that this is the day they will give you, but they want to ask you first. But here's the thing: they cannot accommodate everybody. So according to your priority, and in bracket, like for me, for instance, I told my incoming fellow, I said, put in bracket whatever reason that you think will help me to decide on giving you that date. Like one, or she'll be traveling for a family event in our home country as for number two priority or number one priority. And I felt I'm a human being as well, So I want to consider that part like, oh, truly, I really want you to go for your vacation. I need you to travel because I want you to be emotionally balanced when you are working. So for you to schedule your PTOs, take whatever you want. This is no longer interview. This is now your job. So don't just take whatever and then they put you anywhere as well and you don't feel happy with yourself. So pick whatever you want, pick it according to priority, explain in detail if you really, really want it around that period, and hope for the best.
Okay. The next question says, do you have any experience with applying for J1 visa from the US? Is there any disadvantage?
From the US?
Yeah, I don't know if that's possible.
I don't. That's what I do. That's why I was asking from the US, unless you are US citizen, which you don't even need J1 for to tell. So most people I know, I don't have personal experience, but I have friends who did J1, and they all did it from home country or from neighboring country. The other person that couldn't get it done during COVID time, she had to just use her husband J1. So she became J2, and you just use EAD because EAD you can use it while you are in the country. You don't have to travel. They'll just give you your employment authorization document and use it to work. But for J, I'm sorry, no.
Yeah, I honestly don't think it's possible to get it from the US. I think you have to go. I know most people go to Mexico or like Canada to go get the J1 visa, but not from the US. I saw somebody raising their hand up. You can go ahead and speak.
Okay, I don't think I raised my hand, but I was going to comment on the J1 visa. Someone I know said he didn't. He hasn't left the country since he came in 2018. Okay, thinking about it, he was doing a research position, probably on J visa. Then he started residency, so he didn't have to leave. He just maybe
Yeah,
switched.
it's just same J. It's just to change the job employment that.
Oh, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Okay. And someone is asking, please, what is the process of changing specialties if you're not satisfied with the specialty one has matched into?
Yeah, a lot of people change specialty, especially in my program, because my program had we have preliminary position, and with preliminary position the opportunity for you is that you are at base. It's like you already have the template to join anywhere you want to join. So you want to be an anesthesiology, you want to do that dream of your job, like whatever you have ever thought of, as a preliminary position you can join and just transition to another specialty. You can transition to surgery, you can transition to anesthesiology, to radiology. So it's an open word for you to just apply, and most of them always get it. Some of my colleagues went into anesthesiology from preliminary position, some went into radiology, and few to surgery, because in surgery you have to go back to preliminary position again or first year categorical. So it all depends on your choice, but yes, you can always switch. Now, if you are in categorical position, it could be hard. And the reason why is because it's a 3-year contract. Most programs don't want to start all over again and start looking for second year spots to replace you. And it could be hard for them to find someone. So that I would say, think twice before you change, before you even tell your program that you want to move to another specialty. You could have a very supporting program directors and coordinators that will tell you it's okay wherever you want to go. You have our blessing, because they have to provide program director's letter, and the letter must it must explain why you truly said you want to leave, and what the program director believes it's okay, what you've been, and what benefit it will be to their program. So you want to make sure that you're not creating trouble where you are if you are categorical. But if you are preliminary, it's okay to go anywhere. It's a 1-year contract. But if it is categorical, please think twice and see, because they will want to know why you chose their specialty first as categorical, and now you decide to change. What changed you, and what is the reason why you now have to leave after they have spent all their quality time to invest on you?
Awesome. Thank you for that. Someone is asking, how do we join CIR?
So CIR on July 1st, during your orientation, or not even just July 1st, your orientation week, your departmental orientation, your hospital orientation, because they usually 2 orientation in most of the programs. They will do hospital orientation. Everybody in that hospital that are doing family medicine, internal medicine, surgery, anesthesiology, any kind of specialty that the hospital offer, you will all have orientation together as hospital orientation. So during that time, CIR will step in as part of the talk that they will present to incoming intern, and they explain to you, this is what we are doing and this is what we're going to do. And they have their name and folders out there that they will give each and every one of you the folder. Some will take the folder and think about it. Some will tell you, no, I don't want to. If your husband, for instance, or your spouse or your wife is already in a program and already is already in CIR, you don't have to double join unless you just want to create more opportunities for yourself. Because if your husband is in a program and has CIR, so your health insurance covers everybody, including you. So you don't have to pay from your own pocket again to pay CIR for the health benefits. Because most time, if you are a gentle person, you are easygoing, and God is putting his crown on your head that you don't have trouble, nobody's causing trouble for you, you will not see the need for CIR unless you run into trouble. And the only reason why you want to need CIR is your health benefits. So if someone already has health benefits, you're like, okay, I can use my spouse's health benefits as a dependent and they cover me. But if you are in trouble, they can't stand for you because you are not their main applicant. So that's how you can join them. And you usually join them, I believe they give a grace till July 14, 21 or something like that. And they lock it up so that any person in your family can join your health insurance plan until January the next year. They are very, very good association. Right now, I'm no longer under CIR and I miss them dearly because before I didn't know their difference. Like I'm like, okay, CIR. All I know is that they'll come to our program and tell us to increase our salary. And truly they do. They make sure that like you guys are working too hard. They should increase your pay. And they did. But now that I'm in with UUP, I don't even know what they do over there. I just know there's a UUP, an association, and I know I need to be under them just for for policy's sake.
And I don't know if you mentioned the meaning of CIR. Someone's asking, what is CIR?
Oh, it's Committee of Intern and Residents. Committee of Intern and Residents. They have their big association. You want to be their president, they are welcoming you. If you want to be CIR president for your hospital or for your CIR representative, it's a great way to develop your leadership skills. You represent your residents in the program, then you will tell them what, if they have any concern, any problem, they should talk to you. You relay it to CIR, CIR fight for you. And they have a lot of benefits. One of the benefits I enjoyed with them as well, I think I'm getting to realize I had a lot of benefit from them. So one of the other benefits is that every year they give you 750, but now they've increased it to 900. So you just buy whatever you want, like electronics, your scrubs, your laptop, whatever you want, like furniture for your study, and you send them the receipt and they reimburse you. Like within 1 week, you'll receive your check in your house. So some people, they'll tell you, I don't want to use my 750 now. I want to use it at the end of my third year, so that at third year they will just use it and pay for your exam. But some programs can pay for your exam and you don't even need to let them see how pay. So just spend your money, enjoy the benefits.
Wow. Okay, awesome. Thanks for sharing all this wonderful information.
You're welcome.
We have time to take one more question. We're already 15 minutes out of our time. If anybody wants to ask a question, you can go ahead and speak up. Okay, moonlighting.
Moonlighting. Okay. Moonlighting for first year, it's actually not advisable. And because you have a lot to do, you have a lot of work to do, that you get home, you are very tired. Moonlighting is a good way to make extra money. And let me tell you, Nigerians, we are rugged. We are rugged. Like my program, we have a lot of busy schedule that you get home, you are knocked out. But I still moonlighted. I moonlighted very well and made extra dough. And it was easy for me second year. But first year in my program, no, you cannot even try it. Don't even tell your chief you want to moonlight. Like, no way. You can't moonlight. It's not allowed. But from your second year, July 1st, they'll be begging you, please, can you moonlight? We'll pay you your extras. And you get really, really extra money if you can moonlight and make money. In fact, during that period, you can build a house in your village. You can use that money, be a cow, dad, or anything you really, really want to give yourself a treat. You can use your moonlight money and do. So yes, moonlight for first year, not for now. But if you really want to moonlight, there are a lot of moonlight opportunities, depending on your program.
Okay. I think someone is asking, how do we join CIR? I know you mentioned, I think the information will be given once we start, I guess, residency, right? And how to join and all.
The orientation, they will communicate. And if you are really itchy about them, just go to Google and type CIR, call their contact number, get more information from them. They are always readily available to explain things to you. Hey, I'm an incoming intern. I got matched into this program. I just want to know this and that and that. And they are always available to talk to you.
Okay. And when is the psychiatry PRITE exam?
Psychiatry, did I write it here? No, I did not write it. Let's see. I know they do. Like, we can check it up. It's all out there. It's all out there. You just need to check, go into their site, IT psychiatry. That's all you need to check. IT psychiatry, and it will pop up on your screen, and you can learn more about it. The PRIDE exam is in okay.
It's in September, if I'm not mistaken.
You see it, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it should be there. Just check, and I see study exam. Man, psych. Anytime psych consult is made, they write a lot of notes. Forgive me, their note is so voluminous here on the screen, sir. Right? Can't even pick out where the date is written. Always writing so much for me to pick the basic information I need. Forgive me if you're a psych resident. I'm just me. I think I see September. Yeah, September. And the dates may change. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I think I saw September too. September to October. Thank you so much. How long into our program can we ask the program to pay for step 3? Do they pay for step 3?
So yes, your step 2 have done it. Go to your GME. So there is GME, there's DIO, your designated what do you call it? Something officer. It's whatever. DIO is just the short word. In the GME office, the General Medical Exam Board room, they usually have people that are coordinating all residency program in your program. So if your own program, your department says, oh, sorry, we don't reimburse step 3, you go to your GME and ask them, do you reimburse step 3? They'll tell you, sure, do your exam, pass it, give us the results, we'll pay you back.
Wow, that's
But
awesome.
And
you have to pass it.
Yeah, you have to pass because they don't want to waste their money. Because if you don't pass it, and another thing is you telling them, people don't like to tell their program, they are doing step 3. And the reason being that if you fail it and they already like, okay, we have someone who just failed step 3. How are we going to do it? They will be on you. They will start marking you down that you have 6 months to get it done. So you have to reapply. You have to make sure the pressure then builds up. So you don't expose yourself to all those unnecessary pressure. Do your exam, pass first, and then go and show them that, okay, I passed. Can I get reimbursed? Yeah, or something like that.
But if you already did it before you got into residency, can you get
Nah,
reimbursed? Okay. Yes.
so
I thought as much.
only if
Okay.
you do. Same thing applies to conferences. Please go for conferences if you want to go for fellowship. Start building your CV. Go for conferences if it's virtual, if it's in person. And most program reimburses you for all your travels and your conferences.
Oh, awesome. Can second years moonlight on J1 visa?
So it depends on program. My program J1 Moonlight, they even have more than us because they are J. I don't know. They always quote J as a special. They get more money. The H1, you're already leaning towards you are like close to American citizen person, and a citizenship and for American citizen they get less. So the tax is higher as you
As
do.
you
So
get,
tax is
wow.
higher than H1 and lesser for J, and they get it. Yeah, so you can depending on your program.
Oh, wow. Okay. I don't understand GME and DRO. What is DRO?
Oh, DIO,
Oh, I.
DIO. So in our programs, there is a DIO for your program. That it all depends because my DIO, well, you don't even want to tell him what is going on. You don't want to tell him what is going on with your program with him. You don't. The DIO stands for Designated Institutional Officials. So they are representing ACGME, and whatever is going on, and you don't like, and you want to like report to ACGME, you go talk to DIO. Now here's the problem: it's a political thing. You want to be very careful. Don't just say, "Oh, my DIO is also my attending for the floor." He's very nice, he's friendly, and you start reporting things to him. They take everything in their hand and seal it. I'm like, okay, the next thing you will hear is that ACGM is aware that residents are being abused in this program, and your program director will question how do they know and all those stuff. So you want to be careful with your DIO. They are there to represent you, but at the same time, they usually play political game, which we just like, oh, is our DIO? Oh, fine, DIO, and just let them be. Including psych, surgery, or any ACGME program in the hospital. That's one person, and it's usually a one-person job, DIO. So maybe you will want to be a DIO in the future. It will be great. It's another mode of leadership that you can build.
Okay, we'll just take these 2 questions here and then that would be it. Sorry, I'd like to clarify what was just said. Are taxes higher for those on H1B and how much higher if so?
So, taxes are higher than citizen. Like if you are a citizen now, let's say your salary is like 66,000, they call it for you. At the end of the year, you're getting maybe like 30 something take home because they are taking all the salary. I don't know why. I'm not that good at taxes, but I just work with police that are citizen and those of us that are J1. And one day we decided, no, but wait, why am I getting less? Why are you getting more than me? And we are in the same program. We are all intern and you are earning more. And someone explained to us that for citizens, they really take their tax because government have to make sure they use their tax money and take care of them. Now H1, they'll be lenient with you, but they'll take. But J1, you are a visitor, so they can't just be taxing you and taxing you like that. So, and that is the only logic the guy explained to us. So, but I have to read it up more and see, but that's the logic I received from the explanation given. And these also include your moonlight. When you get your moonlight money, they tax you as well. So during my own moonlight, I saw it with my Kuro eyes that okay, getting this money for the same hour And this guy is working, we're doing the same hour for Moonlight, and he's earning like $100 more than me. I'm like, for the same night that we both worked, you know.
Wow. Okay. How do we ask for days off to take step 3 without letting them know it's for step 3?
So there's something called personal day. You don't have to tell anybody your personal day off. Personal day off can just be, okay, I just feel like staying at home today. I don't want to go anywhere. It's your personal day off. You don't have to explain. Personal day off, I really, really want to make sure I take my family member for their checkup, and this is the only day I can do it. Take your personal day off. I want to travel. I want to do whatever you have to do. It's personal day off. Now, this is the limitation of personal day off. Most personal day off, you have to tell someone to cover for you to have your personal day off. So you have to tell your colleague, like, hey, can you cover me tomorrow? I won't be available. If you like, you can if you feel like that, you can confide in that person. You can tell the person the reason why you want to go. A lot of people did their steps 3. They have already done it before they even told us that they did it. Like, oh, I went for my exam on Friday. What? You didn't tell us? Yeah, I took a personal day off. Okay, fine. No problem. So it all depends on. And if you want to blow the horn, I'm going for my exam. It's okay. It's
Probably not a good idea, just but yeah, it's your choice. And then racism in residency.
Oh, it's hard to call it that name, but you will feel some like, especially if you have accent like me, you know, the moment you even start speaking the English, they'll be like, "Where are you from?" But the good thing is that when you have your good attitude and you take care of them and you act like you are part of them, they will like you and they will stop being racist. But they will not call it a name on you. They can just first give you that signal, like, you don't belong here, you know. So if you are like working in the south part of America or in the part that you know that yes, this could be very, very, very obvious, just try to be professional. Try to be professional. They will step on your toes. Just focus and avoid any trouble. And I don't know how else I can say that. Just pray that you were able to finish up and finish well. But yeah, it's everywhere. We can't avoid it.
I think you rightfully said it when you said don't take anything personal. Like this is a job. Don't
Yeah,
whatever insult or if you feel like somebody spoke to you in a condescending manner, don't take it personal. You're just there for the job. And
yeah.
it's only a matter of time you'll be done. Don't create problems. So I guess that answers that question. We are far spent into our time. Thank you so much, Dr. Grace.
You're welcome.
Um, you really said a whole lot. And honestly, even just listening to all the things that you have poured out, I can still say that there's a lot in your book that, people can benefit from. So go ahead and get that book. This is like, I am not affiliated to, or I'm not getting any percentage. I'm telling you just based off of my review of the book. I've read it, I keep reading it, and I know that this book would help me in my first year. Before every rotation, I would go back to the rotation and read just to know so that I'm not, making silly mistakes. Because the truth of the matter is, once they paint you a certain color, to get that color off is almost impossible. I've seen people that just made one small mistake and they've labeled you for your 3 years. You don't want that to be your story. Let your success story continue till the end. Let's continue to celebrate you. The name of the book is The Residency Intern Diary. I'm going to share the link again. It's on Amazon. It's also on Barnes and Noble. It's a small, really small price to pay for the amount of knowledge in it. So I definitely advise and recommend that you get this book. So we're going to be rounding up now. Thank you so much for everyone who attended, who, you've gained one thing or the other. If you still have questions, there are more boot camps to come. I recommend that you attend them. Go ahead and learn as much as you can. Like Dr. Grace said, this is like your holiday period, but it's also your period to gather as much information as you can So use every day wisely until you start your residency program. Thank you once again, Dr. Grace. I don't know if you have any final words for us today.
Well, thank you so much for having me, Hall. I'm sorry if you feel like I talk too much. The end come from nowhere, and some days you will see me like, why is she not talking? So forgive for today. Like Stephanie has said, if you really if you go on Amazon right now, someone just told me that it's just 2 copies or 1 copy left on Amazon, so you can use Barnes and Noble link and still order on Amazon because they keep producing. And just make sure you grab your copy as soon as you can. And if you have any question, I'm part of the group chat. You can always message me, and you can always call my cell phone, and I'll be right here to guide or answer any of your questions. And I wish you all well in your future endeavor. And I hope to see you at the top.
Thank
See
you
you.
so much. Thank you, everyone. Do enjoy the rest of your Saturday.